Anyone who knows how I feel about Aatrox's rework would be inclined to believe I'm allergic to change, and that's fair. So when I hear mid-stream that Gwen is getting a mini rework and have a knee-jerk response of why, that only doubly reinforces that. But with the current changes, which are slightly different to what was initially presented, it's good? In terms of how the champion feels, I don't feel many significant differences just by playing. Sometimes I have a happy moment with the extra 25 range on E, but sometimes I have an unhappy moment where I can't triple burst with 3 quick Rs at close range. But on the direct contrary, I've had plenty of times where I can remember I can still use my second and third ultimates without hitting anyone between them. The damage feels similar enough. A 25% reduction in true damage conversion isn't going to suddenly make her useless against tanks, what with all of her percentage damage as well. And speaking of that, her percentage damage only went down against jungle monsters, so she'll shred near enough all the same. Her base damage and ratios on her abilities went up. Heck, with less true damage and more magic damage, I feel less bad about buying things like Abyssal Mask or even the odd Void Staff. Her base damage and ratios on her ability went up slightly, increasing flat damage all around, making her slightly more effective against non-tanks on paper, and she also gets more resistances while in her W Shroud to gain a little more advantage in melee duels. But now the Shroud only lasts 4 seconds, so you better get used to not having that extra second before you die to something embarrassing. Finally, the E cooldown and refund changes I think are totally fine in practice. It can feel a little weird having it on cooldown for so long, but at max level with some haste, it can get to level 16 kassadin levels of mobility so long as you're hitting something. It gives it more reason to max it first too, which does open up some more funny builds. The main issue with it that I find is that early jungle clears feel much more painful. With a higher cooldown and low refund, I'm not sure E first is the way to go anymore in the jungle, especially without a leash like here. She doesn't feel immediately weaker and doesn't feel too much stronger, just some good quality of life for the most part. With some negative changes I'll get used to in no time. Gwen good.